over time, we plan for improvement. So we talk about metal spoons versus the wooden spoons. And then
When what's the distinction? Why would you talk about metal spoons?
well, the thermal versus the insulation for protection for safety.
So when would you need to use a wooden spoon rather than a metal spoon?
Just everyday use.
Could you give me a specific time, an example, when you would be, okay, when you're working? So if I were stirring something in a metal pot on my stove, it might be better to use a plastic or
safe.
wooden spoon rather than a metal spoon. Because, why? Why would it be unsafe to use a metal
I
spoon?
would get burned.
So what property of the metal spoon makes it not useful for stirring a hot pan?
The thermal, yes, the thermal conductivity.
Thermal conductivity of metal makes it not very useful for stirring hot things. It's the only thing I have. I'm gonna have to modify matter and to make sure that I don't burn myself. Maybe I put my oven mitt on and then stir with my metal spoon. Because the property of the metal spoon, that it is a conductor of heat, would make it not the best material to use. Okay, next group.
He said that understanding and classifying different properties of matter is important to determine the usefulness. And we talked about a screwdriver today. It has one end with the plastic on it and the other end with the metal. And so if an electrician is using it, then they have to have that plastic part on the end or you're gonna get electrocuted. But I really liked Dell's example about the metal spoon for kids, because I was trying to think of something. It's really important for kids to know this because it happens everywhere, and if they're not, they're gonna make a mistake that could be bad.
How many of us have burned ourselves pulling a pan from the oven? Or moving a metal handle of a pan off of a stove burner? Yes, I think that as you get older, that's a pretty common experience. Next group, here. So your reporter.
It is important to understand how matter can be classified by its properties because it allows us to make better choices about how we use materials in the real world.
Very well said. Could you say that a little louder because there are people in here who did not quite hear you? I heard you. I think that was very well said. So now say it like you mean it. Out loud.
It is important to understand how matter can be classified by its properties because it allows us to make better choices about how we use the materials in the real world.
Very nice.
About a silent clap here.
Okay. Next group. That's a lot to live up to. So.
Ours is not going to be anything as close as this. We discovered the different properties of our objects we were given, and we are still discussing whether or not aluminum is a thermal conductor or an insulator.
Okay. So why would it be important to determine whether aluminum is a thermal insulator or a thermal conductor? What would knowing that help you do?
We were talking about we're
Using it to heat something up or to conserve the heat or insulate that heat.
Okay.
So if I'm using, again, leftovers, wrap it in aluminum, keeps your nothing warm. If I'm trying to heat something up with aluminum, it's a no-no. Or it doesn't work well in my device.
yeah.
Well, of course, that's what
Yeah.
campers though, campers, what do they cook with? What do they use? Aluminum, put on the fire. But yes, but it's also because whenever they store their aluminum, it cools down and it's like they touch it with their hands because they're not carrying around oven mitts. They're not carrying all the stuff we have in our kitchens. So I'm not saying.
That's a really good thought. That's a really good conversation to have about, would this work? Would this matter be useful for this purpose? which is what I think you're getting at.
Yeah.
Is the matter useful for the purpose that I need it to, that I need to do? Is it useful for what I need to do, what I have to have done? So next week.
What do you want?
Battery.
Okay, well, you know what? It is time for a walking break.
Yes, it is.